Welcome to the Illuminated Path podcast. I'm your host, Liv, founder of Eno Wellness Collective. My wellness journey started with yoga, which led me down the path of exploring healing modalities like meditation, breath work, sound healing, mindset work, and so much more. This exploration inspired my mission to help others find what lights them up. Get comfortable and curious as we learn from experts, teachers, and creators who are lighting up their communities and living an inspired, expansive life. Let's dive in. Welcome back to another episode of the Illuminated Path podcast, and welcome to the show, Myke.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
I'm so excited. You get to come into my world for a change because, so for some context, I've been going to, obviously, your gym for the past couple years. I think when I walked in a couple years ago, pre-wedding, I really hadn't experienced much weightlifting at all in my life and much strength training in my life before that. And now we've done I want to say 3, maybe 4 programs together. And now I'm going with my husband, started the year to the gym. And so I knew I wanted to have you on the podcast just because of what an impact you've had on my fitness journey and just being able to also witness you as an entrepreneur just grow, and fine tune and evolve your business. And so I wanted to start with, I know I always love on this podcast being able to talk about people's path, right? How they got there. And I know for you, fitness stemmed back. I know you have sports in your background, but I want to hear a little bit about your first introduction to fitness and just being connected to your body. And so, take us back to young Myke. I would love to hear a little bit about the path.
Oh, we're going back. We're going real back.
Yeah.
Young Myke. Yeah, that was a really nice intro. Those are really nice things to say. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I always tell clients and friends when you come in and you train with us at 23 Fitness. At one point, I was gonna name the gym like your gym. You come into the space and technically it's like I'm in your space and we're doing your program for your goals. And it's all at your ability, which is super awesome. But yeah, sorry, running off. Young Myke. Fitness is, I think for me growing up, fitness was always there. It's just always there, especially on Guam. On Guam, it's kind of embedded in the culture with not just with sports, but we love food. Like, us Chamorros and Guamanians in general, or like the island living lifestyle. We love food. It's the center of our, like, how we celebrate and how we bring people in, how we send people when they pass. It's everything is food focused. With that being said, growing up, I'm always around like my mom trying to be on a diet. Uncles, family members just trying to start working out and exercising. So I was blessed at a young age to see it and to try to understand it and try to incorporate that into like my sports performance. That really helped me. I was a nice round little guy growing up. So trying to figure that out at a early age kind of really helped a lot. Yeah.
And I know that basketball was a piece of your journey, but what other sports, like when you think about your, high school or even college days, like what really sparked like that interest in sports? And how I always look at people who have played sports. I personally didn't play sports, so I don't know that experience of like team sports as a kid, but I see how that is such a huge impact in like confidence, in motivation, and just learning how to win, learning how to lose. So yeah, what sports did you get into as a kid, and how do you feel like that set you up for what you're doing now?
I am a wicked checkers player. No, I for me, I'm just a really sore loser. Like, I'm a huge sore loser. With that being said, I use that to my advantage. It motivated me to like be better. And you could tell from my stature, I'm such a tall guy. No,
we talk about our height a lot in the gym. I feel like we're both like, we missed the height.
We're owning the small people game
for sure.
But because of like what I was blessed with in regards to like my height and the abilities that I have, the beautiful thing about fitness and conditioning and being strong is you can choose to get better at it. Like you could genuinely just choose it, focus on it, and you'll see progress. I wish it was the same for height. Uh, but it's not, and with fitness and getting stronger, getting faster, and my issue of being a sore loser, I saw that as my angle to use that to my advantage. Yeah,
Mm,
yeah. So figuring out training was like inevitable because
yeah.
I don't want to lose every
Yeah.
little kid. So that helped me a lot. Yeah.
And then we're going to talk about that a lot today is the motivation, consistency,
Yeah.
discipline, all of that that you see, within the gym too. But I wanted to know where the idea came from, obviously having fitness in your background, being into sports growing up, and then you're like, I'm going to start a gym, right? And also I want to hear a little bit about the name behind it, 23 Fitness.
Yeah.
But what was that path to like I'm really into this and this is just my personal life, right? Into I'm going to make this a business.
Great.
Beginning days of the gym. I know you've had a couple evolutions with it, so the
Yeah.
early days.
It honestly came it came around the same way I was forced into like getting in shape.
Mhm.
I feel like every client that I've spoken to, and was blessed to work with and pick their brains, a lot of it started from like trauma. Something had to like get you going. At least for me and for a lot of like my adult clients, it came from the lack or the loss of something.
Mm.
Uh, for me, it was. I'm gonna be super frank. I just I didn't have a job at the time. So I was really like forced to like make a move and make a move for like the long term.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And not like a short stint. Like I said, I'm a really big sore loser. So the intention to really like throw myself into it uh is really what created 23 Fitness or just me personal training. I was young. I had my daughter. She was maybe just like a year. I got let go from a previous job, and I had to figure it out. And sometimes the one thing you look at your situation, and for me, it was like I could exercise. I could exercise, and let me see if anybody's willing to like join me on this. You know what I mean? And blessed to be in the position I am in now, to have the space that I have now, and to work with amazing clients slash mentors like you. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, super duper awesome.
I love that it came from like this has to work, right? Like I am, and that's it's similar thing with Wellness Collective. When I moved back home to start it, I moved back home to start it. There's no plan B. There was no like I'm not going. This is it, and that I think builds like this internal motivation that like it has to work, right? And that I think is a big leap from side hustle to okay, I'm gonna do the side hustle. Do I go all in to like I'm in it, right? I'm here. And I remember something super specific about like one of the first programs we did together where you showed me a photo of you before and you've had like a big fitness weight loss evolution. And so I know that you and, VJ talk about how, you do the programs on yourself. Like it's your own journey and then now you do it with other people, right? So I would love to hear about that, like your own journey to becoming the trainer Myke, because we all see the trainer Myke,
Yeah.
but we don't know the pre-trainer Myke.
Ooh, the pre-trainer might. You know, it's funny. I said hi to a classmate just last week, and he asked me. He goes, "Man, when did you move back?" Yeah, that's how extreme that pre-trainer Mike was. He asked me when I moved back, and I was like, "What?" And no, I've been here, and it was because of how big I was. So yeah, like with that picture, I try not to show that right away. Try to save that. That's one of my last guns in regards to like getting a client going, or even getting them to believe me in understanding what they're going through. But yeah, I lost 100 pounds. The good eating days, I like to say. I'm just joking. But yeah, I was in a pretty tough spot. I was 100 pounds heavier. Just a lot of bad habits, and habits that I kind of just overlooked. Like I was just so focused on the surface of, I guess, of like my everyday practice and grind and um, the trauma again, right? Like that trauma of like needing to make it work. There's no plan B, so when you go all in, you start to uncover the depth of what it really takes to make this happen.
Mhm.
And it's I don't know how it was with wellness, but you shared a little bit, but it's never ideal. we have this plan and it sounds great and it's like we lay it out, but I almost tell myself it will go wrong. And the one thing I could guarantee is like I'm not gonna stop trying.
Mhm.
Like I just won't stop trying.
Mhm.
That's a the great thing is like that's a choice too.
Mhm.
So like just choose it. I promise you, just choose it.
Yes.
And if you could just get through the storm, man, it's gonna look amazing at the end. But you gotta choose it. You gotta like hurt a little bit and just hold on. Um, that helped me a lot. 100 pounds. I started trying to exercise, trying to figure it out. I think I did every workout in the book. P90X. Shout out to P90X.
Throwback.
Yeah, P90X and Beachbody. I was working out in my living room with just myself and some rubber bands, looking at a guy with the 8 pack saying, "I'm gonna get that, man." But it was the health factor that really got me to the next level. Um, Focusing on like how my body works.
Mm.
I think that's what really saved me and reminding myself of like life and death,
Mhm.
like the truly life, like
Mhm.
increasing the urgency is what's helped me not only maintain it, but to get better every opportunity I can, I guess you could say.
I love that you've been, like I said, you've been through the, the journey of seeing your own health evolve and then being able to now step into educating others. I love how whenever I go to the gym, like you're always sharing knowledge. Like you're actually educating your clients. And not just like, here's the weights, here's what you're going to do. It's like we're learning something, right? We're learning something about the body, we're learning something about food. And I know everybody's different and has different things that work for them. But for you, when you think back at that transformation that you saw, if you could point it back to maybe one or two big habits that shifted for you, or even mindset shifts that were like, I stopped thinking this way, what would you, I know that's a big
No, no, it's
question,
a great
but
question. That's a
what,
great question.
what would
Super
you
good
say? What are
question.
the big things that changed for you?
So I said it a little bit, right? Like in regards to like life or death.
Hmm.
Um, if I just played off of, there was a point where I was just going for the aesthetics of it. Like, oh, I just want to look good, so let me work on my biceps, or let me work on my abs. But it didn't last long. Like the motivation, like it wouldn't last long. As soon as you had it, you're like done with that practice. So I needed to figure something out. I kept assessing myself, assessing clients, assessing myself really on what worked for me,
Hmm.
and um, it was really like the life or death difference. Like there was really only two options.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? And um, every time I had a client, and we get clients that, like I said, trauma. They're coming in and they're on the brink of death. Realistically, like I have stage 4 kidney disease, or I'm diabetic. I'm type 2 diabetic. IVF, irregular heart rate, hypertension, cholesterol. I had to learn it. I know I've heard it all the time. Like we hear it all the time. People walk around like, "Oh, yeah, I'm diabetic," like it's something in your wallet,
Hmm.
But when I had a client and I had to figure out how can I help them, because I dove straight into like, or so deep into trying to figure out what that really is and how I could adjust it. Um, I was amazed by like what it was by just figuring it out for myself. I was like, holy smokes, that's what it is. I'm gonna have that because of like the behaviors that accumulate into like those diseases, those conditions. And it scared the crap out of me. Like it really did. And I would learn it. And then I look at my client who I'll give you an example. I had a client, she has stage 4 kidney disease. And I was like, oh, stage 4, that sounds pretty bad. You're here. And it's basically like the kidneys only a quarter working, so you have this organ, it's about the size of maybe my palm, but only a quarter of it is actually like contracting and working. Once I learned that, I was like, that could happen. That because you think everything's, or for me, at one point, I thought everything was a machine inside. Kind of learning more about it, it scared the crap out of me. So it forced me to make these changes. Another instant too that really switched it up for me was my daughter got admitted to the hospital at the age of like 1.5, and it was with uh, she had pneumonia. But prior to that, she was getting sick all the time, like every week. Your typical uh, child at the daycare. We'll blame the daycare. We'll blame the walls at the daycare, and say like, oh, it's just because they're going to school and there's a lot of kids. And I couldn't understand it. Like I was like, what? can't just be every time she walks out of the house. Like, this is crazy. And then when she got into the hospital, that was super traumatic for me because she had to get IVs put in her and she hated it. And she's 1 years old. So she has no idea what's going on. Again, I had to look at like, okay, what am I doing at the house? What are we feeding her? What does her day look like at the daycare? So I was even going there. It's like, oh, just checking it out. I was
You're
that
checking.
super helicopter dad. Like, just want to make sure everybody's good. Wash your hands. But that really changed. Like, the more I kind of dove into that, it changed my perspective on the quality of food, right? And what is it that I'm putting in my mouth, and what am I allowing her to put in her mouth? Because that directly relates to organ function and general health. It wasn't because I sat on a couch that was like made of fake cotton, but it was what she was ingesting. And yeah, I was letting her eat pretty much anything that was a snack, I guess you could say, just to pacify her. And once I changed that, uh, and the whole family got involved with it, it made a huge difference. I'm not gonna lie, like I was pretty amazed, and I was like, "Oh, let's ride this wave." And they haven't severely gotten sick since then. Her and my oldest daughter were asthmatic at the time, had inhalers and everything. We haven't had that since then, so it's been amazing. And I figured if it works on them, then it probably works on me too. So I've been blessed to follow that lead. And again, every time I get a client, I'm lucky enough to share, like, I do this, you could try this out. And it's worked for the most part. I'm super blessed, and they keep coming back. They keep coming back.
We're back again. I'm like, I'm back here again for another program.
Yeah.
And it's so true, that just that theme of curiosity with health,
Uh-huh.
right? Of like, something's not working, rather than having okay, let's see what medicine to take, right? It's getting to the root. Let's get to
Yeah.
the environment.
Boy,
Let's get
yes.
to the food and really get curious. And I know for you, you've gone through different stages of, like, training for certain things, or, certain goals that you have physically. And so just I've also witnessed you have that curiosity of like, let's try this diet, or let's do this, or let's see how this is going to impact my body. And so, like you said, you do the work on yourself. Your brother does the work on himself. And then you guys bring it to the gym to your clients. And what I love, as when I stepped into your gym, I remember being like, wait, this place exists on Guam? Like, it is a very, VIP experience in a way that it's private. People want to go there for the one-on-one personal training and connection. And that being said, I do know that, you sit down with your clients, and you get, I know that there's been, therapy sessions happening in the
Oh, yeah,
corners.
yeah, yeah.
There's been, things that it brings stuff up. It's not just there. We're not just there to work out, right? It's a whole transformation. So I would love to know any themes that you see with the clients of like why they come to you. Obviously, they want to come to a beautiful gym and work out and have nice showers and all of that. But
Right.
what are the top reasons that people are choosing to do a program with you guys? And like, what's the themes that you've been seeing over the past couple of years?
Referrals. Like, that is such a strong, like, selling point closer is just referrals. And referrals and results. I pride myself on that, referrals and results. Um, I tell my brother the same thing. Like, we have to remember, like, why they're coming here. More or less, how did they come here? Right? How did you hear about us? What made you come to us? A lot of the times it's just I have a friend, a colleague. They look amazing, and I notice a change in if not their body and their weight or whatever case might be, but it's their performance and the mindset. Through my journey, it was a lot of it was addressing, like you said, right, the mindset and the mental aspect that I have to have in order to perform at such a high level. With sports, I've been blessed to be in some tough situations, uh, in these mini competitive moments where it feels like the world's so heavy. And going through those experiences has given me this background, I guess you could say, of being able to reference resiliency and sticking to something and letting it really uh, catch progress. In the past, everything's about short. Everything's I'll do it in 90 days, 60 days. I could do it better.
Challenge.
60 days. You know what? 30 days. You get abs in 30 days. And those are for me, they're great marketing tools to just get you in the door.
For sure.
Like, let me just get you over here. I sell coffee. Oh, I
New
want some
new year,
coffee.
new me.
Exactly.
We're
New year, new
here.
me. And what's helped the most with clients is when they kind of do our selling for us. They'll have a colleague and they're like, you what's wrong with your neck or what's wrong with your arm? And they're like, oh, it's just sore. I've been doing something and it just bothers me for this past 2 years. And then a client goes, I had that same thing. It's gone now. And they're like, how is yours gone?
Mhm.
It's like, oh, I train with this guy. He does not allow me to like stop. And that's been a huge benefit for us because they come in with the intention, yes, to get help, but they also have this understanding, this pre-understanding from a client of ours that it's not going to be easy.
Mhm.
And trust me, you'll get there, but you gotta stick it out and you gotta trust him. With that being said, it also keeps us on our toes. You know, it's there's so much pressure. You have somebody coming in, they're like, "Hey, you did amazing work. I want some of that too." You're like, "Whoa, okay, let's see how we do." And I always try my best. I remind my brother, I remind the clients, just try your best. Like that's something that I can't even measure. But if you're trying, that'll give you the best results. You just got to constantly try.
Mhm.
But the second, like anything, like this podcast, like anything, the second you just kind of lay back and it loses momentum. It
Mhm.
just doesn't, it's hard for it to, unless you're, just keep trying, keep
Mhm.
looking for progress and opportunity. So that's been a huge like benefit for us, getting the clients with the right mindset. Um, Blessed to be busy. Yeah, I can't say enough about that at least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite like business mentors always talks about, basically play long-term games with long-term people.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's always been, my strategy is like finding people that want to not just come in for, a yoga class, but to come through the journey, right? To come with me through coaching for retreats. And like now I see so many of my clients come back second year, third year, fourth year, different season, new goals.
Yeah.
And I see that in your business as well. It's like not just we don't want the challenge people will maybe come in, right, from one program, but it's like who's going to keep coming back, new goals and want to grow with you long term. So definitely see that that's like a type of person. That's a specific type of person, right? Like who wants to go long term with this. And one thing that, you've opened my eyes a lot too is just the importance of recovery. Yes, we're going hard in the gym, right? But we also have recovery and you have all sorts of things there at the gym to support with
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that that's also like something that you really have to educate people on of like, okay, well, why am I in this for 20 minutes, right? Or why am I doing this on the last day versus, like taking people through, it's not just push, 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 but recovery is a piece of it. So can you share why you decided to integrate that beyond just the workouts?
It's part of this whole equation of performance and health. You could train as much as you want. Like you could choose to train as much as you want, but the body has its limits. The recovery time it takes for like your muscle fibers to recover, it's it's inevitable with everybody, unless you're taking testosterone and steroids. Those treatments are meant to increase or reduce your recovery time, right? So it's not meant to like you're gonna have it's gonna make you work out. No, it's meant to like so you're not sore, so you can keep working out. With that being said, we are having clients who where it's we get clients at different parts of their life, and the older ones we had to learn. It was a different goal for them, and that goal was longevity. It was a blessing in disguise. I had to figure out what he meant by like I want to live longer. At a client like that, dude, I want to live longer. And I was like, let me figure this out. It's another one of those like, okay, let me dig into this. As we dug more into it and we tried to pull up medical journals and researches and all this good stuff and videos and texts, everything led to taking care of your body, right? And then I kind of discovered or was reminded of exercise is a self-applied stress. It's self-applied, but it is still stress, and the body can only take so much. It's meant to be resilient, but at the same time too, you got to take care of it. You got to help it recover so that it doesn't have to exhaust itself. I like to say, or my mindset for the body is there's like a wear and tear, I guess you can say, period. Like God is great and He gives us this this body that we have, and we're blessed with it, and we're giving a certain amount of time. But am I doing everything uh, to let it last that long? I guess you could say, and by helping this client kind of discover or learn more about how I could increase the length of my life. It's forced us to look into things like anti-aging type of exercises, anti-aging behaviors and practices, learning about hormones and cortisol levels with females in your menstrual cycle and menopause. And for men, it's they go through the same thing. It's just on a male scale, I guess you could say, but it's all in different phases of your life, and each phase requires a different approach. And the way the body wears out too, it's going to change how you drive that car, right? Your body is a pod, it's your vehicle. So depending on whether or not you have four wheels or three wheels will dictate if you could drive a certain speed or whatnot. But that'll also allow you to let it last as long as it can. You know what I mean? So, yeah, longevity was like, it's helped us a lot. It's forced me to um, focus more on the recovery aspect of like taking care of the body, right? Keeping our fluids, our organ function at a high level. The compression boots are like my favorite.
Yeah.
Like there's everybody's favorite. I love massages, but the scientific the aspect of it is like it just encourages circulation, like, and circulation is your heart and it's your brain, and everything is kind of reminded me or forced me to redirect my energy into taking care of your brain and taking care of your heart. If we could take care of those two things, I've so far it's worked wonders for a lot of my clients. Studies tend to say it works great, and it's helped me a lot. Like just focusing on my heart and my brain, and so organ for the girth of my life, for the most of my life, I ignored. I ignored my brain and I ignored my heart function, and I was only focused on the muscles,
The 8-pack.
the 8-pack, and I started to see people with 8-packs go down, you know what I mean, and get hurt or get sick, and I was like, no, what did they do? And I've been blessed with the opportunity to have the time and to pick clients' brains and do my own research. So it's been huge, and I get clients like you who are extremely intelligent, doctors, physicians, uh, at every level, which is a blessing. Because then I just ask you guys the questions and then I share it with somebody else. So it's been amazing.
Yeah, as you were speaking, I was thinking about just the diversity of the different clients that come through. Like I remember
Yeah.
coming to the gym the other day and it was like a lot of seniors that were like finishing up and leaving. And when I was pregnant going through your program, you had a bunch of pregnant
Oh
women in the
yeah,
mix
man.
that they were all
Phases.
there, right? And then postpartum, I was bringing, newborn to the gym and you were also supporting, women in that stage too. So it really is cool to see just doesn't matter the age, right? And then at the same time, you work with a bunch of athletes and a bunch of
Yeah.
like, jujitsu people and just like the range is so big. And, but all with that, what they want is they want consistency. They want to feel motivated. They want discipline. They want the health. They want the mindset. And so I wanted to dig in because some of the, main things I hear from a lot of my clients are, I'm not disciplined enough. I don't know how to motivate myself consistently. I hear that word consistency over and over again. I just interviewed 10 people recently, all asking them, like, why would you work with a coach? Or, what's your main goal right now? And that word consistency came up. I want consistency. I can't do it. I can start it and then it stops, start it and stops. So for you, this is like your main, this is your
Yeah.
personal and professional life.
Yeah.
For people who want consistency and maybe they don't feel disciplined enough, right? In quotations, I'm saying that. What do you have to say for that?
If you're looking for consistency, what's helped me is yes, I think I encourage, like, get a coach, get a trainer. Um, those are great starters because the coach and the trainer basically become your consistency. I've said that to myself. I remind myself every day when I have a client come in and says, I'm looking for consistency. I tell them, call me consistency. And that's what has to be for me. That's what helped the most. What's helped the most is life. Life throws everything at you. right? And there's every reason to not be consistent because something came up. Being the most consistent person in that person's life at that point has been the kicker, right? Availability and consistency. Say you're a Sky, like something happens and he the babysitter can't come. Oh, it's a really good reason. It's a valid reason to say like I can't work out today. I've created a space where like no, bring your son. You know, I tell my clients all the time, bring your kids to the gym, bring them. It gives them the opportunity to one see you exercise. So you're enhancing that child's like life right there, right off the block because they're like my mommy works out when she's stressed, no matter what, she's working out, she's taking care of herself. I uh, um, it's not unfamiliar to them. And if they see you do that, they're gonna pick it up. They're gonna pick it up. That's that opportunity to be consistent. We're creating this environment. I try to create an environment and create a mentality with the clients. Like consistency, it doesn't mean it's gonna be perfect every single time. Consistency just means I'm gonna try nonstop. If something goes wrong, I'm still trying. I'm being consistent in my effort. I tell them that effort should be perfect. Effort should be perfect. Timing, all that good stuff. Whether it's a good day or a bad day, don't worry about that. But you got to keep trying. That's consistency. Whether you work out in the morning, work out in the evening, I rest more. I messed up on my diet. I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna keep trying, and that's helped me hugely in my growing and in my development as in this health industry. So I just keep pushing on my clients. Nope, not a good reason to not work out. You could do it. I know you can. And being that consistent voice in their head has helped hugely. It's huge. Like I get clients like who call me and text me 3 years after training, or they're in the mainland now, or they're abroad, and they'll say like, "I still hear your voice in my head." I'm like, "For what?" They're like, "I didn't work out, and it was like 9 at night, and I was like, I gotta get it in."
Mhm.
There's no reason not to get it in. There's really no reason, and it all falls back to that comment of like it's a choice. Like that's the beautiful thing. Is like you can really just choose to do it. Like there's unless someone is physically stopping you, like no, don't exercise or don't eat that healthy vegetable. There's really no valid reason. Um, I tell my clients like ask yourself that. Don't be afraid to ask yourself. Right? We speak on positive affirmations all the time, like say positive things. In the toughest moments, sometimes it's hard to do that. So by reminding them that I do it all the time, all parts of the day, every hour of the day, I gotta tell myself like, okay, I can do it. Something went wrong, I could do it. Choose it, Mike. You can do it. Live. You can do it. No one's stopping you. And you're like, oh yeah, you're right. No one's stopping me. So that's been a huge like factor for me in regards to like consistency is not systematically perfect,
Mhm.
but it's really the effort. It's the effort in anything. It could be consistency and it could fall off on one angle, but if you're constantly trying to better yourself, oh, you're gonna win. Like
Mhm.
I haven't seen it mess up yet. If you're just constantly trying to win, oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Yeah.
I've experienced that with movement. It's like, just keep moving. It doesn't matter what I'm doing to move, right? It
No.
could be yoga, Pilates,
Yeah.
cycling, weightlifting, walks. It's just keep moving. And something I share in my to my clients a lot is just about like different seasons of life, and like we have different seasons that we're into different things, and that's okay, right? It's not like I have to take this class for my whole life, you know. And I even love that with my yoga students, right? They come to yoga, and I see the people that come every single week, right? And maybe they take a break and they go do something else, or they travel, or something happens, but they're constantly they always come back, right? And they always have like whatever type of movement you're doing, it's just keep moving, right?
Just keep
Keep
moving.
moving. But I know that that's easier said than done for people, or that's easier for people that have an active lifestyle already, or maybe have sports or have something that's driving them. But I do know a lot of people where it's been a long time since they've done that. It's been 6 months, a year, a couple years, that getting back into movement, getting back into exercise seems like a mountain that they're like, I don't know where to start. So for those people who even might be listening and they're like, you know, it's been a minute since that,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
there's like fears and insecurities or things that might be blocking them. What do you say for those people that are like, I can't even get started?
I was there. I was there. Like I feel like if I close my eyes, I was just there yesterday. Again, right? Like 100 pounds heavy, like that. I was deep in it. Every time I have a client that says that to me, or I meet somebody, even just like at the store, and they'll ask me a question. My favorite line, and that I use every single time, because it's something that I have to remind myself of this every single day, is like, keep it so simple you can't go wrong. Like, keep it so simple you can't go wrong. And they'll ask me like, what do you mean by that? What do you mean it's so simple? It's not simple, Myke. Like, I have this. I don't know the exercises, and I'll say like, how about you just do one? And it's funny because like we'll make something so complex, one, to say like I did it, right? Like I could tell everybody, oh, I did this really a crazy thing. But the beautiful thing about fitness and health is like it's accumulated small behaviors consistently. So I always tell them like, yo, just stop making it so complicated. Like you know what you're doing. Like, you're smart. You've lived long enough in this world and this earth to know like if that's healthy or if that's not healthy. But make it so simple you can't get it wrong. And it could be as simple as like, just go walk for 30 minutes, whether it's a fast walk, slow walk, or how about today, just do squats. Oh, should I do anything else? They're always asking me for more. It's like, "Hey, let's go make this really tough. Like, how about we make it so easy? We're going to win no matter what." But that small, the simplicity of it for me has helped me greatly through this journey. And it's helped a lot of my clients like, hey, guess what we're doing today? And they'll look at me and they're like, they're 2 months in, they're like, squats? Oh, you know it.
Simple, or do
You
we're back
know
to
it.
basics
Exactly.
today.
Because
Yeah.
when you master like those basics,
Yeah.
you don't think about it anymore. It's not complicated, right? Like this is your fourth round with us, and you come in and I'm like, all right, let's get back on that goblet squat.
Mhm.
And you grab that weight. I don't gotta explain nothing. You're just like, all right, how many am I going for? We're going for a feeling, and you're just, oh, there we go, going for that threshold of stress, and you have a good understanding of it now too, which is beautiful to watch and see how you navigate that with your mind and your emotions. You've experienced that. It has to be tough.
Mhm.
It's got to be a little bit tough, and it's got to be a little bit more than what I'm used to. Because if we're looking for goals that we haven't done, sometimes it's as simple as like, just challenge yourself
Mhm.
and don't make it complicated with 5 or 6 different exercises in a workout. Just do squats, and tomorrow we'll just do push-ups, and the next day we'll go back to squats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that accumulated behavior, oh, it's winning. It's winning right off the block. It's so
Mhm.
amazing. I was so amazed by how well it worked. Because again, right, I had clients, same thing. It's so hard, Myke. It's complicated. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to eat. I don't know if my exercises are good for this. And don't get me wrong, it is. It's very complex, because you're thinking about the day, right? I have work, my food, my son, my daughters. Oh, and then I have another meeting, and then it all just takes time. Um, but when you make it so simple, you kind of find you could almost make a reason to like fit it anywhere, right? Like right before this podcast, we were like, we should do some squats real quick. Let me just get it in.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like that was a small opportunity just to get something in.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be in the most ideal situation. And I used to train out of my car. Like a lot of people don't know that I was training clients right out of my car. I had trained some clients in the parking lots and asking community centers, can I use your gym? I'm at 4 or 5 in the morning. I promise I'll lock it up. And making something out of nothing, at the time, was a blessing. It's a blessing now. It's a blessing now to see the progress that I've done with certain clients with nothing but just effort. And that's why I always fall back into that, is like, I love my gym now, and the equipment that we have is beautiful. Been blessed, but I always remind myself like, trust me, you could do it anywhere. Like, you do not have to be here. And sometimes clients get worked up like that. I get worked up like that too. Like, oh, I didn't make it to the gym today. Guess I don't need exercise. But that's not the case. And if we remind ourselves of what we're really trying to accomplish, consistency and accumulated small wins are always gonna win. Always gonna like, you're gonna get great progress from that. Yeah. Yeah.
Such good so much good wisdom from
Yo,
this. I love it.
yo,
I feel like
trauma.
yeah. But it is it's amazing to see the journey, but also just it's such a big piece of any change and transformation is your mindset, right? It's yes, knowing what to do, knowing how to do there, but it's that mindset and that approach of like, we'll get you through the doors and then also keep that consistency throughout. So I have two last questions for you. The one, I know that what I love about seeing your business grow is, like you said, it's referrals. Like, you are not marketing too much. You really are like, it is a VIP experience in that,
Yeah.
like, it's word of mouth.
Yeah.
Your people are your best testimonials. That being said, being a business owner through COVID, through the typhoon, through this economy is, I mean, shout out to all the Guam business owners who are really,
Super amazing, yo.
there's no plan B. And so for people who are listening that are maybe starting a business, or they're looking to maybe do this in the future, like, what have been some of your big lessons, more as like the entrepreneur hat on, that you would want to share with people?
You can kind of take some of those components or those aspects from health and fitness into like your business side as well too. For me, it was humbling myself. It was humbling myself and walking into businesses and asking to speak to the owner. And they're like, dude, who's this guy? I would lie and say, oh, I have an appointment with so and so. I'd use Google and like, oh, I know this guy, and then I meet him and be like, oh, I don't have an appointment with you. I was like, actually, I just wanted to ask you a question. But for me, it's never putting myself over the legwork, right? And the time and there for me, it was, when it comes to entrepreneuring, is there was no job that I was too big for, I guess you could say, right? From cleaning the toilets to screwing a nail into the drywall, all the way to like wiping sweat off of the bench for each client. Uh, Practicing that and just your everyday grind, like that's the way it's gonna work. Like, you got to be ready to like really do anything, and it goes back into like, or it just takes me back to that comment you made. Like, it's not a side hustle. Like, and that's what people love, is when they come to you and the eat and wellness and your health coach, they love that, like, you're all in,
I'm
you
not
know?
going anywhere.
Yo,
You can
exactly.
trust that I'll be here next
Exactly.
year.
Again, it's availability, right?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to text you and like you not say like, oh, I'm at my job, right? So when it comes to like the entrepreneur, like the health industry, you got to go all in. You got to be available, and you got to be ready to like kind of do whatever in any situation. Huge shout out to you with the Ena Wellness, like the whole COVID situation coming back. Like, that was a huge feat. I was super impressed. That was intense. Like, right off the block of like 6 feet from each other. Like, that's heavy. That's a lot, and nobody anticipated that. And then the typhoon, and then you made it work again. Like, again, like. So I was,
You did too. You guys were mopping up water in the gym, taking the
yo,
floor pads out.
yo,
Like, I saw you
yo.
guys rebuild that for sure. It's no easy feat.
But I'm always gonna refer back to that mindset of who else is gonna do it? Like, we gotta get it done. It's gotta get done. And I'm not gonna wait for somebody else to do it on their time. Like, let's just do it. If I have the energy, if I have the hands, I'm gonna do it. So we can just keep it moving. And clients and customers love that. They love, like, I tell my brother this, and I do it on purpose, but I'll wipe and clean things in front of you on purpose. Like, you see this? This
I'm
is
all
for
in.
you. All right,
Yeah.
and they love that. I was blessed to work at other gyms, hear comments and the feedback, and see how people navigated that environment, and I was able to take certain things and, okay, let's go make sure we always do this. Make sure we always do this. I've done a lot of things wrong. I think that's helped me the most, is not being afraid to like ask, like, so do you have any feedback? And that's super scary. It was extremely scary and nerve wracking for me, and it was super humbling. And he laid it on straight, and they laid it on straight, like, do this and don't do this, and I didn't like it, and I was like, wow, thank you, because as soon as you receive it, like, you have the choice to act on it and to make the adjustment. But the beautiful thing is, like, I would have never learned that if I didn't ask, if I didn't humble myself and say yeah, versus, nah, it's your fault, bro. It's your fault. So taking the opportunity to, like, I've learned so much more from just asking, what can I do better? What can I do better from the situation? And then immediately trying to apply it right away. Like, don't waste time. Just apply it to your practice, to your business, to your daily routine too. That's helped me a lot too. Yeah. So congrats on you too with like all that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like asking for feedback and then also receiving feedback and then knowing, okay, what of this do I want to take and apply versus what, there
Yeah.
certain people can give polar opposite
Oh,
feedback of like,
100%, yo.
do this, don't do this.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
being grounded enough to be like, okay, this is how I'm going to integrate it and this is what I'm going to do.
Yes,
So
yes.
what's next for you? I know you guys have Revive now, so obviously doing, recovery there, and there's, obviously the gym. But when you look at manifesting future vision, where do you see it going from here?
One thing I've been like I've always reminded myself is I can only help so many people, right? With physically. Shout out to Revive 23. Tia, you're amazing. It's a wellness center. It's great. We're incorporating that into our programs with our clients. Just again, giving them the resources that they need to add to this big world of trying to be healthier and live a quality life. It's really just living quality life, a quality of living. What's next for us? For me, it's just looking at the opportunities. Like I'm not gonna like make it so concrete, I guess you could say. But what's worked best is working as hard as I can, trying to be amazing at the craft that I'm doing at the time, and being available.
Mhm.
I think that's a huge one, right? Like this was awesome. Like being able to come with you on this podcast and talk with you. This is my first. I hope I'm doing okay. But it was the opportunity. I think that was what I reminded myself of when you asked me, and on my way here too was like having the opportunity to just expose not just myself but the industry
Mhm.
and the resources that we have here on Guam for everybody, right? Like that exposure and being able to talk about it. I've had a lot of clients where they didn't even know there were any of these services available. A lot of it is just public knowledge, and I would love to lean more into just that educational side of like getting people to know what's available. Everybody's always going to try to be healthy. I think that's the one industry that'll always be there is like health and longevity and quality of life, right? Movement, exercise, so I'm super blessed to be in this industry, and I'm excited to see what's more for me, right? So
Yes.
it's
Yeah, I
exciting,
love
man.
that. It's like space for things that maybe you haven't even thought of to
Yeah,
come into the
100%.
mix, right? It's like
Yeah, yeah,
someone might be
100%.
listening to this, they're like, "Oh, like," or you just never know what is going to come even in the second half of the year, like the next couple months. So leaving that space to be, yes, like work and continue to stay consistent, but then also be open to like your life could take a big turn at any point. So
Huge.
having that flexibility.
That
So,
wellness was like it did that exact thing to me.
mhm.
Like when you first came back and you're like, yeah, I want to do
The
this
festival.
health
Yeah.
festival, and I was like, what's a health festival? Like, you're like really? I think I told you I was like, what is that?
Yeah.
So that's the perfect example, and I think about that time too a lot. Like I had no idea, and after seeing it come to fruition and learning more about the other resources,
Mhm.
right? You created this space where everybody kind of got together. I learned so much in that situation, and it was super new for me,
Mhm.
being that I was like training for 4 or 5 years prior to that opportunity. So that was huge, and yeah, that totally reminded me like, hey, be ready, bro. Like you don't know everything, but I'm so ready and open to the idea of like learning more. So
Mhm.
yeah, thank you for that. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah,
Thanks
yeah.
for being on. I'm so excited. I know we have our training session after this, so I'm like, this is the warm up for
Yo,
then
heart
the
rate's already been going,
workout.
yo. Heart rate's already going. We're
Yeah,
well into
we're
like fat
ready for
burning phase,
it.
yo.
But thanks for being on here.
Man, thank you
Yes.
so much. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you
Go
so
check
much.
out 23 Fitness. I'll put all the links in the show notes for everyone. But thank you.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for listening. If you like this episode, please rate and review, and don't forget to subscribe. Learn more at enowellnesscollective.com and connect with us on Instagram at enowellnesscollective.